Duke Luca Abel tore down the original palace in Karnaca, his birthplace, in order to build a lavish structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years. It's said to be a sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego and sense of princely entitlement. But whatever the Duke has done to his nation happened while I was Empress. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside the Grand Palace, deal with the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You should be at peace.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
I can't believe it's taken this long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocrat, living in a palace and sucking the marrow out of the same people who built it.
Yes, I regret my affiliation with the young Duke, but his father and I were close. It was my hope that Luca would eventually grow up and learn that his actions as ruler of Serkonos have very real consequences.
Count on the backing of Dunwall's finances, and maybe without that, you would have developed a healthy respect for the people of Serkonos. Fear of the executioner's block has been a fine motivator for many a ruler.
Once the Duke falls, it's my hope that we can build something better. Inclusive.
Are you ready for this?
I've been inside a dozen castles and 100 mansions, and they're the same everywhere. The Duke's palace can't be anything worse than Lady Brisby's social afternoons.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Taking down Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
Cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
I'll see what I can do. I know things in Karnaca are fragile, and I've got a lot to think about after all this is done.
Ready to visit the Duke?
All right, let's go.
At the palace, the Duke has a look-alike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
It's remarkable that people tolerate the Duke.
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall, full of toadies sucking up to me, stabbing each other in the back.
Poor Empress. I could see those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept, in the flooded district.
I know you grew up hard, Megan. I used to wander Dunwall with my face hidden, but when I got tired of it, I could always go back to the tower. Karnaca's given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
Stuff comes in. That's why they call it the black market. Can't just sit here. Too much chance a Grand Guard catches on to us, or maybe rightful owners coming to pick it up.
What's the delay getting it to the shop? Better you afraid we'll get caught?
The guy that runs the shop is nervous, but if they just let us move it straight off the boat. Now, I got a friend over at the shop. Been running protection for black market shops for years here in Karnaca and over at Colorado. So there's basically no risk.
What's your friend's name?
That's a secret. These guys deal with me, nobody.
Somewhere.
Oh, no, you bastard!
Told you.
I know the laws in Karnaca.
Laws change. The Duke's given the Grand Guard leave. You know who else had a nice shop? That clockmaker.
Serafina, her shop burned down.
Yeah, Myra complained. No one knows how the fire started.
Captain, her brother died.
Asleep inside, drunk, from what I remember. You've got until tomorrow to pay up. It's blood ox stew tonight.
Starving.
From better families. I should think that's just obvious.
Here for a buck.
Why would he say that? Makes no sense. Anyway, I'm not the one who did the kissing.
This district.
Yeah, there's this old lady I helped a few weeks back. One of those bastards from the Grand Guard was harassing her for some stupid tax she had to pay to live this close to the palace. I guess she wasn't good enough for the neighborhood.
Seriously. Those cockchafers have no respect.
I helped her out. Dropped a brick on the guy's head from the window. He doesn't come around anymore. Can't even talk, I've heard. So now she makes lunch for me once a week. Invites me inside, where she's got some old silverware and a few family portraits. Nice stuff.
It might have been cheaper to pay the tax.
Yeah. But for her, it was the principle of the matter.
Must talk with the cook. That did not taste anything like pigeon. It's beyond embarrassing. I won't be able to have another dinner party for...
Believers roam from town to town. They swag every baby boy up and down. Scouring the land.
I'll get the cigars tomorrow. Wanna buy one?
Wouldn't miss that.
Thinking of having a picnic soon, on the back lawn.
If you're not with the Grand Guard, I'm more than happy to serve you.
Sharp, in for a ride.
Very good.
Joiners open.
Ah, you want blueprints for better weaponry.
So many of them, and so big.
A deal with me. I hope you'll think of me again.
Here you are, back among your own people. The palace-born and those who curry their favor. Are you feeling more comfortable, Majesty? Are these the people you want running a quarter of your empire? No. They never seemed to bother you before. Maybe it looks different up close. Maybe here it's harder to ignore the way the people outside the palace get through the day. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Haven't paid any taxes.
Exactly.
They'll pay for that. We should go out there and get our due.
Are still waging war against the Howlers in the Dust District, despite everything else going on. That's what we've got someone like the Duke running.
Why is there a wall of light protecting the palace anyway? Who's going to attack a man?
I'm bored.
On top of a building half infested with blood flies.
What's the matter? You look pissed off.
Yeah, you bet I am. I just got the answer about my transfer inland. Relocation denied.
Look on the bright side. The pay is better here than anywhere else, and we get to do the job how we see fit. Nobody's pestering us with forms and procedures anymore. We collect the fees we want and give out the beatings when they're needed.
I just don't want my kids growing up here. It's too dangerous.
Then reapply next. The command staff changes constantly. New officers, new rules. And the officers.
There's another spirit here, beyond its cage of flesh.
The palace. Maybe I can find another way to neutralize the Duke.
Duke's quarters tonight?
Nope. As long as it's not me, I don't care. It's never any fun.
I'm not sure who's worse, the Duke or his body double. One's half likely to have you flogged for looking at him wrong. The other might just bore you to death.
large as a narwhal.
It feels like we're living in an age of wonders. New machines and new ideas. We eat the finest foods and we're guests in the Grand Palace.
The old woman living in the alley behind my...
We've been playing every day for weeks now. All of this to entertain a statue? Well, if he's trying to pull off some witchcraft love trick, he's doing it wrong. And I can't feel my fingertips anymore.
If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
It seems the Duke has some of the Jindosh Clockwork soldiers.
Someone should say something.
Not my job to clean it up.
It must be nice to be on the Duke's payroll.
It'll be a long night. I've ordered food sent over to the Duke's quarters.
How do you know it'll get to the Duke? I just got this assignment, but yesterday I heard Major talking about the Duke's political double.
You don't worry about that. Besides, in the end, it's all the same. We serve the food, and the Duke decides who eats it.
So he says, keep alert, and I says, I am.
Disappointed. It's not about merit. The inner circle is packed with the Duke's pets.
Rick Spittles. At least I'm not one of them.
Exactly. And think, when all this fighting over thrones is settled, the Duke's going to need men to take charge in the Northern Isles. By this time next year, you could be in charge of Winddown or Freyport.
Where even the most desirable have skin like pale slugs.
That's what the brandy's for.
What was that again? Did you say you could hit him in the head? Or that you could avoid hitting him?
No idea. Too drunk to remember.
Oh, maybe he fainted. Let's bet something else. See if you hit him in the leg.
Sure, my man.
Talk with the cook.
I'm game if
That
you
did not
are.
No offer to bow or kiss my hand.
I could say the same.
A mystery. Let's have it then. Who are you, and what do you want?
Listen, I think you're the Duke's body double. You can't have any love for the man. I'm here to end his rule, and I have an idea you should hear.
All right, you've figured it out. But if you're not here to assassinate the Duke, what do you want?
It occurs to me that you might make a more agreeable Duke than Luca Abel. If I wanted to depose him without having to slit his throat, do you think you could convince people that you're the Duke?
That's bold, I have to admit it's crossed my mind. If people believed that I was actually Duke Abel, and that he was the political decoy, we could have him committed for lunacy.
We could convince everyone that the Double's finally lost his mind and believes he's the Duke. I've spent years perfecting my performance. But there's a catch. He's got a medallion that I need. Even if I sound convincing, which should be the easy part, his Grand Guard officers will ask to see the medallion as proof. Luca never puts it aside.
All right. It shouldn't take me long. Once it's done, I'll be leaving the city. Soon after, I'll send instructions from Dunwall, and I'll expect a great deal of flexibility and cooperation on your part. There's still time to pull Serkonos back from the edge of the cliff. We can undo the damage Duke Abel has inflicted.
I'd like that. But I'll guide Serkonos in the ways I see fit for the people here, not as the hand-chosen puppet of your empire. If you agree with that, just render the Duke unconscious and bring him to his chambers. I'll handle the rest.
Why would he say that? Makes no sense. Anyway, I'm never gonna want to be a...
Dunwall's always been a place of strange luck for me. My poor brother died there. But that's where I met Delilah.
This must be the key to the Duke's vault. All right.
That's it then. Now it's up to me. I'll take the medallion and call them.
I'll be watching. Break a leg.
Don't worry. I've spent years mimicking this asshole. Captain Almeida, come at once to my chambers. There's a problem. Quick, hide up there.
Your Eminence, are you all right?
Yes, Captain. Please arrest this clown. Seems that he took his role a little too seriously. Get your hands off me! Man, he served me well for years. We'll never find anyone else who so bears my resemblance. Take him away, Captain, but be gentle.
I think I understand, Your Eminence. We'll handle it.
What? This is outrageous. I'll have you all skinned alive and set in a salt bath. If only there was something we could do for him. I suppose all those years pretending it was me, that eventually took its toll. No! Stop! I am the Duke of Serkonos! You can't do this!
Dr. Hypatia at Adamire will know what to do with the poor man.
I'm still trying to get my head around this. It's incredible.
I'm bored. One night at the bar.
this opportunity to backcharge second coil.
This must be the Duke's vault. Let's see what Duke Abel keeps hidden away in here. This is the thing Ashworth made to hold Delilah's spirit.
Pushed out into the harsh world. You are alone, but this is it. You must release me from this dead vessel. Only then will you be able to trap Delilah's spirit.
I don't know how I can do this. You were all I ever wanted.
I stayed as long as I could, trying to guide you. The world is better for your influence.
Be at peace, Mother. I will honor you, always.
Oh, Emily. I love you. And this is the final thought I carry into nothingness.
So it's done. Now to take Delilah's soul.
What is this? The heart of my half-sister? Only her flesh remains.
Maybe Delilah's spirit was holding it together.
Jessamine is gone at last, faded into nothing. The reward is peace.
Lens refocus.
There. Now to wait.
You survived the Grand Palace. So, is that it? The fall of Karnaca?
From now on, the Duke will be guided by better stars.
Back to the dreadful whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
Yes, at long last. To take back the throne, and find a way to save my father.
Ready, then?
Let's set out.
All right. As you want.